Welcome back to the program, guys. Gino Santarosa here with you. Now today, I'm going to be breaking down East Coast versus West Coast here in Florida. What's the better fit for you? Let's get right into the program. Are you an Atlantic sunrise person or a Gulf sunset person? Do you want nightlife and nonstop energy or quiet mornings and a walkable beach town? Most people pick a coast off of a postcard and get surprised by insurance, traffic, and beach realities. So here's the plan: a clear, client-tested comparison of Florida's East versus West Coast, costs, jobs and commutes, beaches and water, storms and insurance, schools and lifestyles, plus where I see the best appreciation over the next 5 to 10 years. I'll keep it simple here today, practical and honest, so you can choose your best fit coast with confidence. Before I begin, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and smash that bell to stay up to date with all my latest episodes. Let's get right into the program. Let's start with the daily feel, because if the vibe isn't right, nothing else matters. The East Coast, we think Miami to Palm Beach moves a little bit faster. More international energy, more late night options, more events, even if you want options at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. This side delivers. On the West Coast, Tampa Bay to Naples, the pace is a lot slower. It's more neighborhood first, artsy and early evening. Great restaurants and festivals, just earlier nights. Beach experiences is a big divider here. East faces the Atlantic, more waves, stronger surf days, and at times some seaweed. Ideal if you like surfing, kites, or ocean energy. West faces the Gulf, calmer, warmer, usually clear water on calm days, and perfect for swimming with kids, long float sessions, and shelling. If you dream of walking out with a handful of shells, the West Coast wins. But let's talk about crowds and noise and how they differ. East Coast hotspots feel busy year-round, plus cruise traffic and big events spikes all of that. On the west side, snowbird season hits pretty hard in January to March near beaches and downtowns, but the vibe stays laid back even when crowded. Daily rhythm matters. On the East Coast, cities offer late night dining, and the West means earlier dinners and sunrise walks. Dog parks and outdoor fitnesses are everywhere. You'll notice more condo living on the East, more single-family pockets in 55-plus communities across the West. HOAs are common on both sides, with a denser concentration of condo associations along the East urban waterfronts. The social fabric is a lot different here too. On the East, you'll hear multiple languages in a single block and meet people from everywhere. On the West side, club life, volunteering, and community groups carry more weight. If you're craving energy and diversity, obviously the East pulls you in. If you want easy routines and a know your neighbor feel, that's the West Coast. Once the vibe fits, we make sure the money and logistics actually support it. Let's talk about budget without the surprises. On the East, urban corridors, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach carry premium pricing, especially for waterfront and new luxury condos. You got more high rises here, more amenities. On the West, Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota, and Naples have climbed fast too. Sarasota and Naples command top-tier prices near the beach, while Tampa, St. Pete balances job growth and urban revival with more variability by neighborhood. Now let's talk about condos versus single family and the strategic choice you have to make. East Coast urban cores offer more condos, definitely with views and walkability, but higher monthly carrying costs. West Coast coastal suburbs offer more single families near the beach, but lot sizes and prices jump close to the water. Inland on both coasts, your dollar stretches a little bit further. Taxes are the same statewide, so you get no state income tax, but fees defer. Look closely at the HOA and condo assessments, especially for older buildings. Flood zones affect your insurance and financing, so make sure you're not in a flood zone. If a property sits in a high-risk flood zone, budget accordingly, and especially on barrier islands, this becomes critical. Insurance is the line item people underestimate the most. Wind and flood premiums vary by building age, roof type, elevation, and distance from the water. East can see higher wind exposure, and the Gulf faces surge risk. Roof age matters for credits, by the way, so don't forget about that. For condos, don't assume the master policy covers everything. Unit owners still need a policy and special assessments for upgrades. Ask for reserves and recent engineering reports before you fall in love with the view. Now, new construction can be your safety valve. You'll find more options inland west of I-95 and on the east and east of I-75, or in the fast-growing suburbs on the west. Builder warranties offset early maintenance risk, but you'll trade beach proximity, that's for sure. If you're sensitive to insurance and repairs, newer inland builds often make financial sense. Thinking about renting first? Expect seasonal spikes near beaches from January to April, especially with furnished units. A 12-month lease can lower your rate, so if you're remote, rent off season and scout neighborhoods on weekends. For appreciation, watch Real Drivers. On the East Coast, transit and redevelopment. Brightline and Tri-Rail lift values around stations and the walkability nodes. On the West, job growth along I-275 and I-75 and urban infill in Tampa, St. Pete's are strong signals. Scarce single family near top schools on either coast tends to outperform. Be cautious with overbuilt condo towers as well. Get a great lifestyle, but appreciation can lag when supply surges. Redevelopment zones near established downtowns on both coasts can offer a symmetric upside if you're patient. Don't forget all the commute costs as well, tolls, downtown parking, and whether an EV fits your routine. If you're remote, live inland and play at the beach. That's what I would do. Make the numbers match the lifestyle you actually want. But let's talk about jobs, commute, schools, and daily logistics for a bit. Let's line up the everyday stuff that makes or breaks a move. Let's get into job hubs first. On the east, you've got finance and international business in Miami and Brickell, a big healthcare footprint along Broward and Palm Beach, plus hospitality and growing tech pockets near Wynwood, Boca, and the Space Coast Aerospace Corridor. On the west, healthcare is huge. Defense and aerospace show up around Tampa and MacDill. Tourism stays steady, and small business ecosystems thrive in St. Pete's and Sarasota's creative corridors. Commutes feel different by the coast. The I-95 spine on the east moves volume, but gets sticky near downtown exits and causeways. The good news is you have Tri-Rail, which helps the regional travel, and Brightline gets you between Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, West Palm, and up to Orlando. Actually here, they're gonna be going all across Orlando and onto the west side and all the way down eventually. Slowly. On the west, I-75 runs parallel to the coast, but bridges are your choke points. Howard Franklin and Courtney Campbell in Tampa, and the Barrier Island bridges near Sarasota and Naples. If you need to cross water daily, budget the time or pick a neighborhood that keeps you on one side. If you're working remotely, you should check the internet reliability by neighborhood, not just the city. Coastal and Barrier Island spots can have dead zones and slower repairs after storms. If you rely on video calls, ask sellers for the provider and recent speed tests. Power resiliency matters here. Newer inland communities often rebound faster after weather events. Very important to note. Schools can vary by district. Both coasts offer strong magnet and charter options, but the trade-off is distance. The closer you get to A-rated zones, the tighter the inventory and the higher the price. Families who want beach access and top schools usually split the difference. 10 to 20 minutes inland gives you more choices without losing the weekend beach routine. Let's talk about healthcare, which is obviously a big one. Healthcare access is strong on both sides with dense hospital systems in Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, Tampa Bay, Sarasota, and Naples. If you need specific specialists, you'll likely find more depth near major medical centers with retiree-focused services slightly more concentrated on the west side. But let's get into traffic because we've all heard the traffic nightmares, especially in busy season. On the east, it has event spikes and cruise surges. West has snowbird congestion and beach day backups. Parking rules near beaches and downtowns are strict on pretty much both sides, so factor permit costs and guest logistics into your plan. Now it's time for weather and nature. Let's talk nature and what it means day to day. Hurricane risk exists on both coasts, but it shows up differently. East-facing markets see Atlantic systems and stronger wind events. Gulf track storms can push surge harder on the west side. Your plan matters more than the map. No evacuation routes if you're on a barrier island, and confirmed shelter options if you're inland in a well-built home. Flood and surge risks change street by street, so make sure you know what community you want to enter into. Elevation, drainage history, and whether you're on fill all impact outcomes. Pull the flood map, ask about past standing water, and read seller disclosures very carefully. A small elevation bump can save you money and stress. Let's talk about the heat now. Heat is heat, right? But sea breezes definitely help. The Gulf side can feel still on certain days. The Atlantic gets more consistent breeze, no-see-ums bite at dusk and on the Gulf, especially near mangroves. The Atlantic deals with sargassum seasonally. Some months are heavier along certain beaches, and neither is a deal breaker if you plan your beach time. Let's talk about boating and fishing now. It's a split. The Gulf shines for calm inshore days and inland hopping, and the Atlantic gets you offshore faster with more frequent rip current awareness. Lightning is real statewide, so mornings are your outdoor friend and summer afternoons belong to thunderstorms. So who wins for me? I think it's pretty balanced. Here's a quick rundown. If you want the energy and nightlife, international career paths, and transit options, lean east side. Urban cores like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and parts of Palm Beach. If you want a slower pace, artsy downtowns, calm water, and strong community clubs, you gotta lean west. Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota, and Naples. Score yourself 1 to 5 on Vibe Fit, beach style, cost, insurance, comfort, jobs, commutes, schools, healthcare, and storm comfort. Totals matter. If you skew east, look at Brightline Tri-Rail corridors, walkable condos, and surf-friendly towns. If you skew to the west, target walkable downtowns, 55 plus or HOA light suburbs, and barrier island access with surge-safer mainland base. If your score is close, rent for one season on each side. You'll feel the rhythm much faster, and your best coast usually becomes obvious within a month. Let's get into some metro snapshots, 3 east versus 3 west. East first, you got Miami, massive energy, deep international job market, elite dining, everybody loves the dining there, highest pricing, and condo choices for every taste. Plus, of course, you got the Brightline access. Fort Lauderdale has the boating, the paradise with big boat canals, dual airports nearby, strong healthcare and hospitality, mid to high pricing, and good suburban options minutes from the beach. Then you have Palm Beach County, family-friendly pockets with A-rated schools, especially in Boca. Delray's got the lifestyle mix, Jupiter's coastal suburbs, and a range from townhomes to luxury single families in Palm Beach Gardens. East alternates, you got Space Coast for aerospace jobs and better affordability near beaches, Daytona for value and real surf culture at lower price points. Now to the west, Tampa, St. Pete's, strong job base, arts and food scene, championship sports, urban revival, and bridge math you must respect. Pricing varies widely here with real opportunities just off of the waterfront. Sarasota has got siesta quality beaches, great schools, vibrant arts, and premium prices close to the beach. And it's also got excellent master plan communities inland. You should also take a look at Lakewood Ranch. Then we have the popular Naples, quiet luxury, golf, top tier shopping, and a retiree focus, pristine beaches, and very high coastal pricing. West alternates, you have Cape Coral, Fort Myers for boating canals, post-storm rebuilding, and value if you're flexible on age of home and location. Want to make it easy? Want to have a quick chooser? Need a major international hub and rail? East leans stronger. Hate bridges? Live where you work in Tampa or favor Sarasota, Naples. Want surf? You go east. Want shelling and calm swim days? You go west. So all in all, your best coast is where the vibe fits. The numbers work, the daily logistics make sense, and you're comfortable with the storm plan. Drop your self-score in the comments and tell me which coast you're leaning towards. If you want some of my top picks, you see that QR code on the screen? Take your phone out, take a snapshot, input your information, and I'll get back to you with my top community picks, and I'll send you a copy of my free South Florida Black Book magazine. I'm Gino Santarosa. Thanks for watching this episode. It was a quick one. We did a quick synopsis of East versus West. Thanks for watching. Click on my next episode, and I'll see you next time. Take care.